Dan. I'm assuming you know that if you're watching me. I am in downtown Raleigh, my hometown, painting plein air. Uh, I used to paint plein air a lot. I still think of myself. It just dawned as a plein air painter. It just dawned to me as I was driving down here today. It's like, my goodness, I haven't done a lot of plein air painting this year. It's really weird. I've done a lot of painting, I think. If you follow me, I think you know that's true. But this used to be my stock in trade. My main thing was painting. In fact, painting downtown Raleigh. And as I approached downtown Raleigh, it just dawned on me, wow, I haven't been here much lately. So anyway, it's great to be back in the saddle. I don't know why. I think the reason is, either it's because I'm getting lazy. I'm hoping that's not the case. Or it's because I've just had a lot of commission work this year, a lot of event painting that's kept me really tied up. I think that's it. Anyway, it's good to be back where I belong. And what you see me doing here, of course, is my only oil glaze. Any colors whatsoever, whatever colors I want, over the entire canvas. Hello. That's a good question. It's kind of hard to tell right now. It's actually that view, looking down that way. Do you see the light post, the tree, the buildings? That's that way. Although the lighting was quite different. Just a little while ago, it looked quite a bit different. Thank you. Well, it will be. And it'll actually be quite realistic when I'm done. I love this stage of the painting process. This is where people look at the painting and go, nice painting. When what they really mean is, I hope this isn't your day job. I think there was a season, for you plein air wannabes, I think there was a season where I was a little bit intimidated by that. Thankfully, that season is way past now. And I derive a certain little perverse pleasure out of messing with people's heads. Because you can tell, they think it's not very good. You're really not very good, sir. I want to be nice. I'd like to say something nice to you, but dang, you're not very good. I love it. Okay, now, one step that I need to do a little bit different from normal is I didn't have nearly adequate darks in my. I usually try to nail down most of my dark areas in the acrylic stage, but I certainly did not do that here today. So I need to come in here and really, in the oils then, and really push some darks so that I'm within shouting distance. Okay, again, for those of you who don't know me very well, perhaps, a couple comments about just so you can figure out, where I fit in. My name's Dan Nelson. I've been an artist my whole life, been a plein air painter for basically 13 years. That's not a long time, but I was a freelance illustrator for decades before that. So I did all kinds of other stuff. And I paint weird. Let's just get it out there and get real. I paint weird in a weird manner. That is to say, my technique is unusual. I didn't set out to be weird. I didn't say, I think I'm going to be weird. No, it just happened. It just happened in the course of being creative, I guess. But my approach to painting is different from most. Don't get me wrong. I think it's better than most. I don't suffer from inferiority issues. Usually, sometimes, like everybody, sometimes. But no, I really like my approach. But it is different. Like if you're watching me and thinking, that's different, then you're paying attention. It is different. The one word that would describe my approach, probably more than any other, would be, the one word that would describe my approach more than any other would probably be transparent. In my opinion, that's the number one characteristic. It's transparent. Layers of transparent color. In the underpainting phases, stages, I try to put down a lot of energy on the canvas that then gives me lots, it gives me a lot to respond to, a lot to react to in the subsequent later stages of the painting process. And if you've ever taken my class, you've probably only realized late in the painting process, as my painting mysteriously began to turn into something beautiful, and yours isn't quite, because that's what it's like to take a class, right? That's what it's like for everybody to take a class. You begin to realize, oh, I guess he meant what he said. He really did want us to be messy in the early stages. And the answer is yes, I really did. I start with layers of transparent acrylic, then graduate to a layer of transparent oil, which I'm doing right now. Then I do some drawing in transparent oil. Okay, good. So let me stop here just for a minute. Let's talk about, let me turn you around so I can see your face. So you can see my face. Let's talk about composition for a few minutes. I am still struggling to come up with a perfect description. Everybody knows about the law of thirds. Keep that in mind. Got it? But the law of thirds slavishly followed will lead to pretty predictable and boring paintings, so that can't be the whole story. Some of you might be familiar with Edgar Payne, P-A-Y-N-E, the father of California plein air painting. He has a great chapter on composition. You can find that on my website or on my Facebook. I cite him often. And then the latest verbiage, this is some of mine, and I'll give you a friend of mine. Composition. We're talking composition, how things are laid out. Got it? Number one, composition refers to the major light and dark areas of your painting. That's all. It doesn't refer to lines, colors, texture. Refers to values, light and dark areas. Get that firmly implanted in your mind. When we're talking about composition, we are talking about major light and dark areas. Got it? And one way to describe a good composition is either the light areas or the dark areas can be described with one word. Now, let me turn you around for just a minute. Let's see if this painting passes the test. Let me let you look straight on for just a second. The light area, first of all, this is going to be the light test area right here. And using Edgar Payne's words, this would be either tunnel or radiating, like spoking out from there. Either one of those would fit Edgar Payne's design stems. Another word, this is going to be light, dark, light, dark, dark. So the dark area could be described as a huge W. Do you see? Dark, dark, dark. So there's a chance it's a good composition if you can describe either the dark or the light shapes with a single word. A capital W. W. Got it? That's the dark. Another, and this is a little bit too complicated to get into right here, but my good friend Mike Rooney, who I paint with every year for a week or so, we were together a couple weeks ago, and he said, divide your painting into three value zones: light, medium, and dark. Give yourself three: light, medium, and dark. Okay. So up until now, I've been talking light and dark. Now let's add one. Let's call mid-tone. Let's do darks, mid-tone, and lights. And he says, in a good painting, and I think he's right. That's why I'm struggling to learn this. In a good painting, all of your mid-tones, let me start here. All of your dark zones need to be connected, or all of your mid-tones need to be connected, or all of your light areas need to be connected. Let that sink in for a minute. All of your light areas need to be, so we would fail in that because I got light here, light here, light here, and light here. So that's not, how about the dark areas? The dark zones. is all connected. So according to that, I would pass. Now, let me get a little bit more complex. Again, you taking notes? I hope so. You don't really have to have dark, midtone, or light all connected. Just 2 of the 3 need to be contiguous or connected. Even if they're connected by a fairly narrow band, they need to be touching each other. That's a good description of a good composition. Now, so here, in my painting, my dark area is really just going to be here. Midtone, 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 all connected. And dark areas is just here, here, and here. So if I make sure that my dark areas have some connecting point, do you see it? You can already see it here, here, and here. As long as they're connected in some way, then I'll succeed according to Mike Rooney's laws of composition. Because midtone all connected, darks connected, lights unconnected. Got it? So listen to this again. In a good composition, darks, mids, and lights. 2 of those 3 need to be contiguous with each other. 2 of those 3 need to be in touch with each other. 1 doesn't have to be. So that's exactly what I've got here. I got light area, light, 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 light. Those are the light areas, maybe here. They are not touching. But the other 2, midtone, huge midtone, will be connecting, and dark tone down here connecting. So this might be a good composition. Of course, once all the rules are done, whether it's a good painting or not, is very hard to say. Anyway, good. Hope that helps understanding composition. Let me go back to painting now. And thanks for bearing with me while I worked through that. The very next thing that I do after glazing my entire canvas is I take a rag and I'm going to paint with a rag. And again, I'm looking at this scene. Let me show you where I'm painting, but not that lighting at all. I'm painting lighting from about an hour or hour and a half ago. Okay, so here's the photograph that I took at the time. That helps me a lot more with the composition and with the lighting than this scene does. So I'm with a rag. I'm lifting out highlight areas, and so far I'm kind of liking that. Painting with a rag has so many advantages. It's a hyper controlled thing, but I'm using a big fat area, so it's very loose and free, not hyper controlled. Okay, I think that's good enough. This is probably a good place for me to pause right here after that long lecture. There will be a test. This will be on the test. And let me pause right here, and when I come back, I'll be doing some drawing in dark transparent oil. Okay, thanks for watching. Oh, let me see if there's any comments here. Any comments? Yeah, okay, thanks, Toby. Appreciate it. Looking great. Yes, I agree, Toby. That is it. So much better than opaque. I agree. You're actually, I have one student in Finland taking notes. Way to go, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back in just a few minutes.